and so I did search and rescue here in the United States, and when I was working seismic, we were shooting dynamite.
Oil
Part of the
exploration.
oil exploration, and we worked in winter, and we tripped some avalanches. And I said, I gotta get a dog and get a search and rescue. That's really how I started with dogs here in the United States. So I got two dogs. I got Timber and Lady from Shallow Shepherds, and they were excellent search and rescue dogs. I remember we were shooting in Utah, and that's what really brought it to fruition. And we were cutting the line across this bowl, which was really steep, and you could see the top, the snow drift blowing over the edge, and that thing was like 20, 30 feet high. It was a giant amount of snow, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of said, well, it's probably not a good idea to shoot over here, right?
Yeah.
And because it may slide, I'm engineering geology, so we did some slides, studied some slides, it was basically earth slides, but the principles are the same, right? And I advised them not to shoot because I was on survey crew and I was the first one and I knew this, and they shot because they need the cover, so they disregarded what I said. What the heck was I, right? And they shot and the thing slid. And it was a White Pine Peak, I think it was called, where it happened. And it slid down and it was these giant chunks of snow, size of a boxcars, literally. And I remember there was this guy, his name was Lombard, and he was on the very top, and he was in the bag where the cable heads were, connected, and the bag was covering it, so when it rained, it didn't get wet, So he was sitting eating lunch, right, and he shot the thing, and he said, I remember like today, it was funny. He said, suddenly I felt this cable just took off from under my ass, and I knew something was definitely wrong. And it was, it's a giant avalanche. And one of the guys, his first name was Alex, and he rode one of those boxcar house-size chunks of snow for about a mile, close to a mile down the hill. Wow. Right? And those chunks of snow, they were so hard that if you would take even steel shovel, you couldn't walk into it. It was so solid. And if he would fell out of those things, between two of them chunks, he would be dead cookie. And he rode it all the way down, man, like a surfer, basically.
Wow.
And I talked to him and I said, so what did you think about when you were riding that chunks of snow down the mountain? And he said, I prayed, he said. Maybe that helped him.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I started doing dogs, search and rescue dogs,
Yeah.
and I didn't know much about it, I just tried to do it and all that, and I saw that's what I like, that's why I'm talking about it, that's why I like, I see the real stuff, real police work, real personal protection, real search and rescue, real detection, like explosive detection or narcotics detection. I love that. I like to see to me, the sport is just for, like an ego almost, or like, I don't want to be insulting, but I've done sport,
Yeah.
and, but it's like, people enjoy it, and it's something
It's a good
to do
social thing.
something to do on weekend. It's a social thing, and there's a lot of politics, so it's not really that much fun. And a lot of clubs and stuff. Yeah, there's that, and so. But I like the real stuff, and when I started doing sport, I realized this is not real.
Yeah.
Right? This is just making dogs look good so you can get points. And it wasn't always that way. When Schutzhund started, it was just a test. Test of what? test of dogs' suitability to be bred. So they tested their drives and instincts for obedience, protection, and tracking, right? For the real stuff. Back then,
Yeah.
for the real stuff.
Yeah.
And there were no even points. They didn't reward points. It was either pass or don't pass. Right? That's the way it was.